Quadratic equations and functions. Quadratic equations are basically solved the same way as we factor for binomial equations and polynomials. The only difference is what we've learned about square roots we're going to use now. For example, let's look at some of these problems right here. X squared plus 14x equals 4. What we're going to do is complete the square. Remember, we have perfect square trinomials. In this case, I got x squared plus 14x. How do I get a perfect square trinomial? Well, I would take that middle number, 14 divided by half, by 2, I get 7, and then there's x squared, 7x. So it's 14x, 7x squared plus 14x, and 7 times 49. So I'm going to add 49 to one side, as I did right here. And then I'm going to add 49 to the other side, because this is algebra. We have to balance. So now what I've got on the left side is x squared plus 14x plus 49, which is a perfect square trinomial, or x plus 7 squared. And then on the right, I've got 4 plus 49, because I add 49 on the other side, is 53. Square root of both sides, x plus 7 equals square root of 53. Now let's get rid of that 7, so I have x by itself. X plus 7 minus 7 equals square root of 53 minus 7. Final answer is square root of 53 minus 7. Here's another problem. X squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. How do I turn out a perfect square? Well, x squared plus minus 6x plus 9 is a perfect square trinomial, because that'd be x minus 3 squared. So if I add 9 to one side to make a perfect square trinomial, I have to add 9 to the other side. So I've got x minus 3 squared equals negative 8 plus 9, which equals 1. X minus 3 squared equals 1. Square root of both sides. Square root of x squared, x minus 3 squared is x minus 3. Square root of 1 is 1. So x minus 3 equals 1. Add 3 to both sides. X equals 4. Here's a problem right here. And this is not as long as it looks. X squared minus 18x equals 10. Let's put that 10 on the other side. So subtract 10 from both sides. I'm left with x squared minus 18x minus 10 equals 0. How do I turn a perfect square? X squared minus 18x minus 10. I'm going to add 81 to that. If I add 80, I'm going to add 91 to it. Because negative 10 plus 91 is 81. And there's x squared minus 18x plus 81 is the same as x minus 9 squared. As I add 91 to one side, I have 91 to the other, right here. Square root of x minus 9 squared equals square root of 91. Square root of x minus 9 squared is x minus 9. Square root of 91, square root of 91. And I'm going to get all the letters on one side, numbers on the other, subtract that, add that 9 to both sides. So I'm left with x on the left equals square root of 91 plus 9. Now, if we don't know how to solve a problem with a quadratic equation, we always have the quadratic formula, which is right here. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where the a is in the x squared component, the b is the number in front of the x, and then the c is the constant number. So in this equation, 5x squared plus 8x plus 3, use a quadratic formula. A is 5 from right here, b is 8 from right there, and then c is 3. Now I'm just going to plug in all those numbers for that formula here. Negative b is negative 8 from right here, from the b, plus or minus square root of 8 squared, which is 64, minus 4 times ac. A is 5 and 3. C is 3. So a squared minus 4 times 5 times 3, which is negative, the whole component is 8 plus or minus square root of 64 minus 60, all over 2 times c, which is 2 times 5, my c, 2a, which I is 5, which is 10. So negative square root of 64 minus 60 is 4. So my answer is going to be negative 8 plus or minus square root of 4, which is negative 8, plus or minus 2. And I put the minus on this first one, and then the plus on the second one here. Negative 8 minus 2 over 10 is negative 10 over 10, which is negative 1. Negative 8 plus 2 over 10 is negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6 over 10, which is negative 3 out of 5. So I got two answers for my x. X equals negative 1 and x equals negative 3 over 5. Now let's look at this one here. X squared minus 6x minus 4. My a is 1, just 1x squared. My b is minus 6. My c is minus 4. I'm going to plug those numbers into the quadratic equation. So negative of negative 6 is 6, plus or minus square root of negative 6 squared, which is 36, minus 4 times a times c, which is 1 times negative 4. So it's 36 plus 16, all over 2 times 1, which is 2. So it's 6 plus or minus square root of 52. 36 plus 16 is 15, all over 2. And I can clean that up a little bit. Square root of 52 is the same as 4 times 13. And that square root of 4 times 13 is simply 2 times square root of 13. Pull that 4 out, turn it into 2. And I only got a single digit down here at the bottom. So that is 6 over 2 for the first part, right here, plus or minus 2 times square root of 13 over 2. And the 2's cancel out. So 6 over 2 is 3. And the second part, since 2 square root of 13 over 2, the 2's cancel out, and it's left with 13. So the final answer is 3 plus or minus square root of 13.